everybody, I'm here today to tell you to not do these 7 things on your driving test if you want to pass. If you actually want to have the best chance at passing the driving test, there are certain things that you simply should not do. So I'm telling you, don't do these 7 things on your driving test if you want to get your license. Let's get right into it. Number 1 is don't forget to signal. Now you see, signaling is so important, and many people actually don't use their turn signals all the time or often enough. That is specifically why the majority of driving test examiners are going to focus on whether or not you use your signal every single time. Don't forget to signal. You want to figure out and know when you should be signaling on your driving test and ingrain it in your mind so that when you actually take the test, you'll know exactly when to signal on the test. Don't forget to signal. It's literally one of the worst things that you can do on the test, other than an unsafe driving maneuver, because if you forget to signal once, that means you're probably going to forget to signal more times. So just don't forget to signal. Number 2, don't hit the curb. If you hit the curb, it might cause you to lose points, or it might even cause you to fail if you do it at a fast enough speed or severely enough. So with that being said, you got to learn how to properly estimate the distance to your front bumper and your tires. So you have to know basically how far away from the curb your tires and the body of your car is at any given moment. And once you learn to estimate that, you probably won't have a problem hitting the curb. You probably won't have a problem avoiding hitting the curb. If you don't know how to estimate those distances, then you're really going to struggle with the avoidance of hitting the curb. Number 3, don't stall the car. Now this obviously only goes for if you're driving a manual car. If you're driving an automatic car and it stalls, there's probably something wrong with the engine or the transmission or some other aspect of it. If you're driving a manual car and you stall it, the examiner might let it slide once or twice, depending on the situation, but if you stall it enough times, you'll fail. And also, if you stall it in an unsafe situation, like you stall it in the middle of an intersection where there's traffic coming at you, you're probably going to fail, because that is a very unsafe driving situation. So master that gas clutch balance. Find the biting point of the clutch. If you don't know what that is, look it up. If you will look up a video about it, you're probably going to find me explaining it. Very good video, just saying, so look it up. The biting point of the clutch is one of the things that you can master to almost never stall a car again. It's as simple as that, okay? Number 4, do not try to drive a car that is malfunctioning. If something on your car doesn't work, don't drive it for the driving test. Reschedule your test, or better yet, fix the thing that's malfunctioning. Especially if you notice that it's malfunctioning a day or 2 or a week before the test, fix it because you have enough time. If you notice right before the test, then just reschedule if it's something that's going to affect the test. What you don't want is to get a driving test examiner in the car beside you in the passenger seat, something malfunctions, and you put yourself and them in an unsafe situation that could have easily been avoided. So don't try to drive a car that is malfunctioning, okay? Especially if it puts you and them at risk of a dangerous situation. Number 5, don't make an unsafe maneuver. There are so many unsafe things that you can do as a driver, and there are also so many ways to avoid those unsafe driving maneuvers. If you put yourself and the driving test examiner in an unsafe situation, you will almost certainly always fail the test. And that's why you always have to think before you act and practice. By practicing driving and your driving skills and your safe driving skills, especially defensive driving, you're going to be better trained to react and respond faster to the driving situations to prevent yourself and the driving test examiner from being put in an unsafe driving situation. Number 6, don't make the examiner feel scared. If you floor the gas pedal unnecessarily, if you slam on your brakes, if you take a turn at a fast speed, if you do anything to make the driving test examiner feel unsafe, that's going to be very bad for you. I mean, think about it. This person, the examiner, has the ability to pass you or fail you, and you're making them feel scared by, making them feel unsafe in one way or another. That's probably not going to go over well for you. So don't make the examiner feel scared. Do whatever you can to keep yourself and the examiner safe and avoid making them feel scared. Now, don't forget, they're used to being in the car with learner drivers, people that are trying to get their license, so they're used to it, but just don't take it over the top. Don't make them feel scared. Last but not least is number 7. And number 7 is don't be confused with the right of way. Knowing who has and who doesn't have the right of way is actually a huge deal. And you should know it for the driving test, and you should definitely know it as a driver when you get your license and when you're driving on a regular basis. So study the rules for the right of way. And this is what I would recommend. I would recommend studying every possible situation that you might be in. So study, if you're here, you're driving straight at a 4-way stop, there's one person to the left and they're making a left. Who has the right of way if you get there at the same time? What about if they're making a right? What about if they're going straight? What about if the person is directly in front of you? What about if the person's to the right? You literally want to figure out all of the various driving situations that you can be in and figure out who would have the right of way in each of those situations. This way, when you get to the stop sign, or when you get to the red light, or when you get to the green light, or whatever, you know immediately who has the right of way. And that's it. In this video, I've told you to not do these 7 things on your driving test if you want to pass and if you want to get your license. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great car and driving videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.